A portfolio has three phases. Everyone knows the first two. Build, then consolidate. Almost nobody on this platform talks about the third one, which is why most investors arrive at it with no plan and make the decisions badly. I reached it this year. 14 years, 22 properties, $16.8 million. And it's why my next purchase is commercial. Not because residential stopped working, but because it already did its job. From now on, you'll be seeing commercial regularly on this channel. Two of the reasons are about the market. The third one is personal. And it's the real story, so stay with me for that one. Quick note before we start. This is general information, not personal advice. If you appreciate this type of content, gently tap that like button. Let's get into it. First, some context, because the 22 properties number only matters if you know how it happened. And if you've been here a while, you have heard me say $12.3 million of my own portfolio. That was the last time I did the maths. Now it's $16.8 million across 22 properties. Same boring method. A few more years of it. I bought my first investment property 15 years ago, and the portfolio grew the boring way. No flips, no development funds, no lucky timing. A sequence. Build the asset base while you have income and time on your side. Consolidate, buffers, structures, protection. So one bad year can't undo 10 good ones. That sequence is the whole reason today's announcement makes sense, because of that third phase I mentioned. I'll come back to that. It's reason number 3. But reason number 1 is simpler. The maths moved. Here's the maths as it stands right now. A typical residential investment returns about 4% gross, closer to 3% in your hand once you have paid the rates, the insurance, the maintenance, the property manager. But on the other hand, small commercial property, industrial units, suburban commercial is returning 6.4 to 7% net. And net means the tenant carries most of those costs. On a $1 million slice of portfolio, that's roughly $30,000 a year of extra income every year. Now, when you are early in the journey, that gap barely matters. Growth does the heavy lifting, and residential growth is a proven machine. But the bigger your asset base gets, the more that income gap compounds. Until eventually it's not a detail, it's the difference between a portfolio you hold and a portfolio you live on. That's the maths reason. The second reason didn't come from a spreadsheet, it came from you. Because for the last couple of years, the same two conversations kept happening with clients and with people in the comments. The first, the banks won't lend me anymore. Capable investors with strong portfolios parked at a capacity wall that has nothing to do with the quality of their assets. The second, I'm sitting on 6 figures of equity and it's earning me nothing. Commercial property answers both of those. Lending assets on the asset and its lease rather than just your pay slip. An income that actually moves the needle. And while commercial has increasingly been part of the strategy conversations we have with clients, on this channel I've kept the content almost entirely residential. That ends today. Because if these are the walls you're hitting, you deserve the full picture, not half of it. Great. If either of those two walls sounds like yours, that's exactly what a strategy call is for. Link in the description and the pinned comment. Which brings me to reason number 3, the personal one. My own portfolio changed jobs. For 15 years, its job was to grow. And it did that job very well. But somewhere in the last 2 years, the question in our house changed from how big can this get to when does it start paying us to live on. And if you only take one sentence away from this video, make it this one. Residential builds your wealth. Commercial is how your wealth starts paying you. There's a third phase of the sequence. Growth first, protection always, and then income. I looked at my own next purchase and the honest answer was commercial. And I'm not willing to recommend to clients something I'm not doing myself. So we are doing it properly. Properly means spacious depth. because commercial is its own craft. Leases and tenant covenants, incentives, outgoings, a different lending world, a different due diligence checklist. Because the same rules that have always applied here apply to commercial too. Fully independent, education first, strategy before any property. The asset class is just the tool. Now, some of you are already thinking it, so let me say it out loud. A buyer's agent just starts talking about commercial and surprise, thinks he should consider commercial. How convenient. Fair. Here's my answer. Next week's video is residential and commercial side by side. The same $800,000 into each. Real numbers on screen, including the 3 catches that make commercial the wrong move for a lot of investors. Maybe most investors watching this. If we were selling, we wouldn't lead with the catches. We are leading with the catches. That video is next. After it, what $500,000 to $3 million actually buys in commercial Australia. How to read a lease, structures, and live deal breakdowns. If that series sounds useful, subscribe so you don't miss it. And I'll see you at the side-by-side numbers, like right here.